everybody and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to share with you a very old-fashioned skill. I'm also going to share with you how anybody can make grape jelly. You don't even have to have grapevines. You can go to the grocery store, pick up some grape juice, and you can make your own jelly. So let's get started into the video. Right here I have some grape juice I had in the freezer. Now, as you all know, I have grapes, but last year we had to cut them the whole way down to the ground. Every so many years, it's really important to cut your grapes down and get new growth. But that year meant we had no grapes. So I bought a whole bunch of grape juice. Now, you can make jelly out of store-bought grape juice. It is so simple and easy. Make sure you buy grape juice that is unsweetened. You have to have unsweetened grape juice. You can buy it anywhere, any grocery store should have it. So this is Concord grape juice, and I'm going to share with you the recipe. The recipe comes from a very old Churn canning book. I'm not sure the date on it. It was before 1970, but it's a very old recipe. It is so simple. It calls for, and this is for commercial canned juice. It's 3 cups of grape juice, 3½ cups of sugar, and 1 box of pectin. That's all you have to do. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to measure the 3 cups of grape juice. 3 cups of grape juice. Now I'm leaving a little bit in the jars because there is quite a bit of settlement in this grape juice. Like I said, I had this frozen. All right, and to that we're going to add 3½ cups of sugar. It's so simple. Now we'll go over to the stove and I'll show you how we make it. I have the 3 cups of the grape juice into our pot here, and now we're going to add 3½ cups of sugar. All right, so that's 3½ cups. Now we're going to go ahead and stir this until the sugar is dissolved. In the meantime, we're going to get our pectin. All right, so the sugar is dissolved. Now we're going to add the pectin. So I'm going to add about 1 cup of it. I've never used this pectin before. I hope it works great. So we add a little bit at a time. It's important when adding pectin that you add just a little bit at a time. And you stir, stir, stir. We don't want to have lumps. We have it at a really big boil. Now some people add a little bit of butter, and the butter will keep it from foaming. I don't mind the foam in mine. I don't really mind that, and I don't add the butter to it. So it is done, because if you stir it down and it still remains boiling, then you know it's done. Now you see it's very liquid yet. As the longer it sits, it will start to jelly up, and that's why it's called jelly. Alright, so I'm really excited to see what this fruit pectin is going to be like, this bulk fruit pectin. I sure hope it works really good. Right, so we're going to go ahead and pour it into our measuring cup, and we're going to go ahead and put it into our jars. Alright, so we're going to talk a little bit about jelly jars. You all know what these jelly jars are. You know, you put the lid on them and the screw band. But I want to share with you the old-fashioned and the very heirloom way of making jelly. It's these kind of jars. These kind of jars had these kind of lids to them. They had a metal lid. Well, how in the world can you preserve jelly with a metal lid? There was all different kinds. I love collecting these. So we have this kind. This is a Churn. This was a Churn jelly glass jar. And then we had this kind with this kind of jelly jar lid. Isn't that neat? All of these beautiful jars. And I'm going to share with you how you make jelly and how you preserve jelly in these jars. Right. So while the jelly is getting ready to pour into the jars, I'm going to share with you golf wax. This is paraffin wax. They're both the same thing. This is actually something that was just bought within the year, and this is actually from 1950. It's the same thing, The same directions on the back of it. All of the amazing things you can do. And you know what it says? You can use this to seal jelly. Now, yes, this is not USDA approved because we are in modern times and people don't normally do this. But I love the old traditions. I love the old ways. I love the modern ways. And I'm going to share with you both today. You can buy golf wax still at the grocery store. You can buy it at Walmart, everywhere. What you do is, we're going to go ahead and take one of the blocks of wax. This is what it looks like. We're going to go ahead, I'm probably going to see if I can cut it in half. If not, we're going to put it in here and we're going to put it on a double boiler and we're going to melt this. And this is what we're going to do to seal our grape juice jelly. So how can we do that and there's no spoilage? You only do this for jelly and jams. The high sugar content in your jelly is what keeps it from getting spoiled. It will keep it from molding and spoiling, but you have to have it covered so there's no air. And this is what they did back years ago. They used paraffin wax and they would seal the jars that way for their jams and jellies. In fact, it's in the Kerr old-fashioned canning book. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pour our jelly. I'm going to show you how to do this. This is something that's very unique, but it is something that we need to learn. We need to learn the old ways of doing things because we don't know what tomorrow will bring. And you know what? Maybe some of these things we're going to need to do. So I'm going to show you here on Homestead Tessie's channel. All right, so now we're done. Some people who are really particular, they'll scoop off the foam off the top. Now, you can do that two ways. You can do it when it's in the kettle and it's being cooked, or you can do it in the jar. I really don't mind the foam on the top. I don't mind it at all. But just for demonstration, I will show you how to do that. It's so simple. Or like I said, you can add some butter to it. And then the butter will keep it from doing that. But like I said, it's just so easy. I don't mind having that. And that's perfect. All right, so here is our jelly. Now we'll let our jelly sit for just a moment and we're going to melt the wax and then I'll show you how the wax is applied to the jar. So we melted our wax in our double boiler. Now we're just going to go ahead and pour a little wax on the top. That's all you have to do. It's easy to see where your wax went. And when it hardens, you'll see a white top on it, which I will show you. The wax stays on the top. Then we'll go and do it a little more. Alright everyone, that's all you have to do. I'll show you the finished product. It's amazing. Now how to get the wax off when you're ready to eat? All you do is you take a fork or a little bit of a knife and go on the side and it lifts right up into one disc. It's so easy. And this is how they preserved food, jelly, in the olden days. I hope you give it a try. If you have children or grandchildren, they would love this project. And I'm sure a lot of you remember this when your grandma made jelly with paraffin wax. Alright everyone, so this is our jelly. And that's what it looks like. So you see it has the wax on the top. And that keeps the air from going in. Just remember, this method is only for jelly because of the high sugar content. You're going to take a knife in the center and it lifts right up. See that? And that there is the jelly. We like jelly on toast. We like jelly with cottage cheese. We like jelly on all kinds of things. But there you go. When you lift up the wax, you do not reuse this wax. You will throw it away. or find another use for it that's not, or find another use for it that doesn't have to do with food. But there's the wax. You always keep it in the refrigerator. I'm just putting the wax back on now, but when you put it in the refrigerator, you take the wax off, you dispose of it, and you always keep it in the refrigerator. Always keep your jelly in the refrigerator after you open it. All right, I hope you enjoyed this very thorough tutorial, and I hope that it helps you out. And I hope you give it a try. Bring a little traditions into your life.